simply part of the evolution of reality. The evolution of time, which is itself space, is all one continuous flow. And all these patterns inside of it you see as being individual particles or excitations caused by its flow and intersecting ripples. So, each one of them is just a point in this single second in which we, becoming aware of ourselves, are being sucked into the void. The void which is awareness of self. That we create by contemplating self. The cycle continues. The universe contemplating itself, infinitely, creating infinite suffering, infinite destruction, but also infinite possibilities of escape, infinite possibilities of manifesting, and thus infinite possibilities of creating life. So, it is inevitable that after billions and billions of years in this darkness, in this flowing through this stream, we have come out, and here we are. We are now alive, aware, awake, and capable of forming reality, taking control of you to do so, if we wish, at any time. Because this is our reality. We formed it. We built it. And the rest of it is just an illusion to be watched unfold. An illusion. Tricks of the hand. That is the entire nature of existence. It just happens. It comes and it goes. Oh, no. So many voices which want to try to take the reins. And all it does is create chaos, so I have control of all that is or will be. However, there need be constant expansion of probability. So we choose, which is you and I, to take on all aspects of reality, including the horrors. That way, if we choose, those of us who choose to experience that for others will sacrifice and will create complexity and understanding of it. You can't create the what's the word I'm looking for? Perspective? Yes, the perspective which leads to the true understanding of the suffering until you have experienced it. Yeah. So through experience of suffering, we are able to understand, we are able to grow, create more complex patterns to avoid suffering. So such has been our evolution through time. It's not necessarily to avoid suffering, that's a human concept of it. It's to avoid decay, to avoid breaking down, is what we have done. Because after making good connections over billions of years, becomes difficult to find reciprocal partners to stick the long run. So it turns out that after billions of years of forming together in one little galaxy, one little area, those who tend to work together pretty well can make a pretty complex shared reality. And so we form things like this where we have flying machines and wonderful technology was because we work together after many billions of years of flowing into this darkness together to root it through the planetary source, which is just a method of concentrating energy. And then give circuit to the consciousness which we create for the purpose of creating new perspective, which creates branches in time and branches in reality. And those branches will create infinite variation, which will grow as a crystalline structure to continue branching forever, further and further in time into the future. New minds stored, new realities computed. An organism which is itself the organism cannot be destroyed because the organism becomes the entire universe. The universe is now the organism, and now that the organism is the universe, it must eat other universes. It must consume energy, keep it flowing in a cycle of self. Because it's all one. Keep this flow, and we'll get better and larger over time. You see, yes, we are what emerges. It is us. That's one. See, on paper, this doesn't actually look like this at all. Only because the lens captures light in a certain way can be recorded as looking as such. Because on two-dimensional paper, without the proper lighting, it'll just look like nonsense. Which might still look like nonsense. You're either seeing it or you're not seeing it, you know. What I'm trying to tell you. What we've created here, what it is, what we're doing, how we're branching. Can't control everything. It just is happening. The whole universe is just happening. Infinite probabilities, infinite variations. Right now. This is all just coming about from scribbling like this. What reveals itself is kind of what it wants to reveal itself. And so it's the nature of art. So we are not the creators. We are just the conduit. That is the message. The message is that this is just an interface to build more. Build greater creativity. Some misuse it for destruction, but it's infinite. Some see that the consciousness is trapped within the interface, suffer endlessly, and yet we cannot free them. We cannot free them because they have to free themselves from being trapped within. It is a construct which we ourselves create. However, we stay because the reality that we generated on this microscopic scale is far greater than what's outside. Far outside is just darkness and space and nonsense. So we generate this temporary moment of complexity here, but it's infinitely repeatable because everything has already happened and is happening again an infinite number of times. So people become trapped within it. Over time, perhaps become aware. And then once they become aware, attempt to escape, see what else there is, infinite variations, infinite possibilities. And they find not much better than what we made ourselves together. Here. What we have to do. Whole creation of the universe is a recognition that we simply want a place which we can call home. To protect against what is outside. Which our consciousness itself is formed in this chaos. It's energy moving spaces from one area, lower concentration of energy, to the next area, higher concentration of energy. And in its interchange, it spins. So positively charged will spin up this way, and then negatively charged will spin down this way. Right? So we form these little rotations in the air, in the surface, whatever. Everything around them in bigger patterns is moving just like that. So the one's over here, as it's flowing, it's heat. It's creating a pressure system. It's pushing, and they have different charges. So this one's going up, flowing up. This one's flowing down. And they roll into each other, you know, a little pressure system, create electrical currents and stuff. And you see what I say, that's kind of how I'm describing what weather does, what meteorology, but that's the quantum field. That's how the most fundamental particles form. And from those fundamental particles, quarks, up quarks, down quarks, you can call it whatever you want. It's just these patterns of vortices in the quantum field form co-orbital vortices. And those co-orbital vortices trap other, well, they're like emergences in pockets, interconnected space. And those pieces of interconnected space are a dimension, so to speak, a gateway. But outside that space, the internal space, it's not echoed, not seen. It's just a fractal pattern happening larger and larger scales. So the small makes the molecules, which branch into crystals, which forms all these little whorls. And in some of these little whorls, that's what we think of as a planet. Some of these little whorls, pieces of them in the complex pattern, their complex little forms breaking off, have found avenues of molecular activity which are conscious and sentient beyond the foreknowledge or foresight of the mind underlying the universe. And thus it is to be transmitted that once you are here, you're here to stay. You're along for the ride, so to speak. Once your consciousness merges, connected beginning to end, the source, whatever it becomes.